Welcome.
Welcome to Shade in the City. I am your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are getting into our review of Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode 3. Don't know the name of this one. Oh, no, I'm a smoocher. So, welcome back, Shade Squad. If you have not already, please hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it because, I got some words and Suan. Mm-mm-mm. Let's get into it. Let's get shady. This episode opens up with the First Ladies Lounge at the church. Now, with the bar. Now, Tommy gives them the assignment that he wants them to show the men a side of them that they may not know about. So, first up is Mercedes. She decides to invite the group, or Mercedes and Suan. They decided they were going to team up and do a group date. And they are going to Kangoo.
Mm-hmm.
She enjoys working out and the thought this would be a fun activity. Now they've invited MA and Blake. Now Mercedes is excited about the time with MA, Mark Anthony, as we know, but says, Blake can be a little off-putting. And yeah, Blake was very off-putting. As soon as he walked in, he was like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want, but he does participate. I give him that. Now, I think this was supposed to be like, I guess the reason it's called Kangoo is because it's like you're a kangaroo.
Yeah, I guess because you're jumping around. It actually looks
Now,
kind of
I
cool.
can't imagine that probably is a hard workout, especially if you squatting and doing.
You know what it was for me? Because them shoes look like they might be kind of heavy. It was the leg
Right,
lifting and all that stuff.
right.
I thought it was just gonna be jumping and arm movement. No, they lifting legs. I was like, oh, okay, this looked like it's a lot.
Yeah, probably a great booty workout though. And so Mercedes and MA go off for some one-on-one time. And he says that he's kind of lived a chaotic lifestyle as a child. So basically, now being older, he values stability. And we learn Mercedes is kind of the same way. She said her last relationship ended I believe it was 2 years ago because of infidelity, which resulted in a child. So she then dove into, pursuing her own goals and dreams. And MA is feeling her vibe, and they're definitely flirting and feeling each other. And I thought it was very cute. And I think it was Morgan who pointed this out that this is probably going to be a really cute connection. And I can agree with her wholeheartedly.
Blake and Suan, they got some alone time as well. Um, to me, their connection seemed like it was pretty surface.
Mm.
He gave her a code name.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
He gave her a code name, Susu.
And she thought this was so sweet.
She did. She thought it was so cute. Blake says he doesn't feel like he's managing dating multiple people very well. He said he's kind of been there, done that, and he's been married, divorced, had kids, and he's not looking for the fairy tale. He's looking for someone who is attractive, intelligent, and compatible. With someone who can, he can give the code name to when, he needs help doing his squats.
No, he said when he needs help getting out of a situation he don't want to be in, which that's why I didn't understand why she felt that that was so special to her. I'm sorry. I might be a little harsh. It's giving pick me.
So I don't know why she didn't believe
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is he brought it to her attention that he's not doing well with dating multiple people.
Right.
He said it to her. I don't know why, how lines got crossed.
Because it's giving pick me. Now, Cynthia invites Andre out on a painting date. And I thought this was super cute. Cynthia is so beautiful. Can I just say that? Now, she says it's something about him and she wants to get to know him more. She asks what he's looking for in a woman. He says companionship, and he
likes a womanly woman.
Right. And he said, yeah, he likes women that are soft. So she asked him, well, what happens when you encounter a woman who's like not so soft because they've been through certain things in life? And would you have the patience to teach? And I thought that was very well said.
Mm-hmm.
He says, absolutely. He knows she's a strong woman. She says she needs a man to see past the shield and get to the softer side. I said, yes, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she said that she's learned in past relationships that she's been a little closed off and needs to be more open. She then begins to shed a tear and, basically says she doesn't want to cry on TV, but she ends up crying on TV. And she says she wants to be able to be 100% of herself. And Andre says this makes him much more attracted to her.
They're giving his sleeve to wipe the tears away.
Right. And he promises to never take advantage of her vulnerability. And Cynthia thinks he is the one. And I don't know, Jeffri.
I think it might be curtains for Jeffri.
Yeah, it might be curtains for Jeffri.
Corvea rented a couple bikes and invited Fabrice for a ride because she says she rides 3 to 4 times a week and she feels like they have that in common. He says he can tell she's the type of woman that's going to be worried about her hair and sweating and, he got to get underneath the shell, okay, that she's built for herself. So they sit down and she wants to get right into business and discuss, what he's done for a living, how long he's done it and all this. And, she says this is exactly what she asked for. She wanted someone who started a business and sold it. And, she's like, it's not really about the money aspect. And he's like, yeah, it is.
It's okay if it is.
I
It's okay
understand
if
that.
it is. You ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie to kick it.
Like, if I look like you,
I'd be like
the
you
same.
too.
I'd be like you. Now, she said that she loves.
I think she was offended by that.
I think she was too.
I think she was offended. And unfortunately, I'm not going to lie, but I think she was offended, but I don't think he was meaning to be offensive. I think he was just saying, you give off a vibe and it's okay. I would probably give the same vibe.
I was just about to say, I think she was offended, but I think that's the vibe that everyone
is getting from her. Mm-hmm. No shade, Corvea. We love you over here.
Beautiful. Also the way she speaks too. The things that she says.
Like you said, if you can't afford me, just say that. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
She said that she loves to motivate and inspire people on social media. He tells her that,
can I just say that seemed very, I didn't like, that's the one thing, I did not like that answer. It did seem very surface, like it was almost like Z's hula hoop answer.
She's an open book, Trace. She's an open book, okay? Now, he tells her that one of his first loves was from Puerto Rico, so he understands her more than she can imagine. But, she feels distant, and it's actually making him feel uncomfortable. So she did squeeze in a little bit closer to him and asked, he asked her, is this your true self? And she said she feels offended in the confessional because he thinks that he knows her better than she knows herself. And she feels like she's being an open book. Because everything I'm telling you, you can go on social media and see.
Ain't that the truth? Now, Morgan and Marcia, can I just say, I think I've said this already. I think Morgan is beautiful. Marcia is as well, but I love her personality. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. She's funny. I like her as far as like, not saying she's not beautiful. I'm just saying her personality is bright and it shines and it's just
Morgan,
fun.
You're talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, they decide to invite Tony and Lyndon to the beach for a picnic. They let the men know that, why they're there, and they're interested to see what the ladies have to share with them. So Morgan tells them that she's never been in love before. Now, Tony feels at Morgan's age that her never being in love might be a red flag and questions if she's ready to love. She says she wants to fall in love and likes her options that are in front of her. Lyndon shares coming into this process was big for him and putting himself out there. And Marcia says that, she appreciates his honesty.
Lyndon expressed how this is a lot for him. And apparently him and Marcia exchanged numbers, but he ain't never used it. He said he was busy. He was booked and busy, honey. And she said she didn't let him off the hook like that because you make
Right,
time
because you make
for
time
the
for what you
things you
want.
want.
Ooh, go
Period.
ahead, girl.
He was on the line with somebody else. That's what was going on. Okay. Now Tony tells Morgan that this is a beautiful process and he's really enjoying it. He says there's plenty of beautiful women, specifically her now. Okay. Morgan, all I see is you. All right.
Morgan wants to make sure this is catered towards her and he's not saying the same thing to everybody. But she likes Tony.
She's like, oh, he's staring at me, staring in my eyes. She like that. She said she love an aggressive man. Okay. Tony tells her as a man, he wants to make her safe and secure, have a relationship with God, and pray with her, enjoy life and building together. All right, Tony.
Okay, Tony.
She said that she's not looking for a perfect man, but she's looking for a man who has their own intimate relationship with Jesus, and said she's never found that in her entire life.
Woo.
Let me tell you something. She is eating all this up, but she said she's still cautious because he's well liked and well known amongst all the ladies. Marcia, she does tell Lyndon that she's attracted to him, and don't miss the opportunity to be vulnerable. And clearly, he read the body language wrong because he tried to go in for a kiss and she was not having. She's like, "Oh no,
no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
No, I meant opportunity to be vulnerable, not to kiss me, sir." Okay. Now he said, that he's not going to take it to heart. He knows that he jumps the gun on kisses because he's a smoocher. So,
And apparently he's done this before. So clearly you're not good at reading a room.
But at least he know.
At least he know.
You're right.
So now we see, I maybe I'm wrong. I didn't know that there was some deep connection here. I was a little thrown off, but apparently there is one. So we see Jeffri invited Demario out for a day of horseback riding. Apparently she's a little bit country, and she wants to test out whether the city boy can handle her country girl ways. Demario actually looks more experienced than Jeffri, and she's actually over it because the horse isn't behaving the way she would like it to behave. So they go to wash the horses, which I was like, y'all are getting really deep. Okay. It's one thing to ride it. Now I got to wash it and clean it and stuff. Now, and I'm from the country. Ain't nothing appealing about that to me. So, and she explains to Demario that it's important for her, because she grew up around this, and I guess she lost this opportunity to do it as much when her parents divorced. So she asked him how he feels about being with a mother with kids, and he doesn't have any. And he tells her the fact that she's proven she can manage kids, finances, and just life in general is very attractive to him.
I thought that was a great answer.
I did too. Now, my girl, I love her too. I genuinely like all of the ladies except when they're giving pick me. Jonique invites Lyndon out to the wine bar. And I love her because sounds very similar to me. She said, I like a little turn up, but in a different setting. Okay. She likes wineries, wine bars. As long as it got wine, it's fine. Now, she then tells Lyndon that she's kind of feeling his vibe and wants to get to know him better. They discuss his job and being in the nightlife. And, she says that's not really a problem for her because, as long as he can make time for her and they can also make time to go turn up together, ain't no issue for her because she wanted, have her own life too. So she does admit to him that she has an issue with comparing men that she dates, and basically knows that this is unhealthy. And I said, well, at least
I don't think he said things that you wouldn't reveal on the first date, not that you wouldn't reveal. Period. I was like, what? Why would you say
that? But again, this is why I love her. She seems very open, honest, and genuine.
When she explained it, it seemed nice,
Right. But she said she's trying to get over that, see people for who they are. Lyndon appreciates her vulnerability, and Jonique thinks it's good to dig deeper than just the club. So he says he feels that if they go party, they're gonna light that shit on fire. Okay. And I believe it. Because she said, I'm a good time. Okay.
She did. It was cute.
It was cute.
So all the ladies, they get together with nephew Tommy in the ladies' lounge. and the ladies gave the rundown of their dates with the guys and how it went. Now Tommy asked them who they're not connecting with. Demario, Tony, Lyndon, Fabrice, and Blake's name came up. Jeffri reveals that Blake told her that he hates that he has to do this process because he's already found his girl. And she is his dream woman and constantly wants updates on what she doing, where she at. And she feel like he controlling y'all.
And you should have seen Suan's face. She looks
Yeah,
so
she feeling some type of way. She definitely
I guess because you didn't get picked.
Now, he let the ladies know about the curveball to have the ability to give one man a second chance, lifeline, just like he offered to the guys. Now, Marcia took Fabrice out, and he clearly has no idea what's going on because he's happy to see her. And as soon as they sit down, he talks about how beautiful her boobs are. She's like, you can't do that.
This scene was so cringeworthy, it was not even funny.
I think he just really don't get it.
He definitely don't know how to read a room.
She lets him know that the ladies had concerns, that he mentioned sex multiple times and questioned the reasons why he's there. And he thinks it's funny because sex is important in a relationship, and that's showing a lack of maturity on their end. Child, please. He explains that he lived in France for a while, and they're much more open-minded and thinks that, this is where a miscommunication may be coming from. She explains that,
and I think what he thinks by saying that, that's like a defense, or like that's cute, like, oh, because in France, we're not in France, babe.
Basically. So then Suan took Blake out, but he realizes, the ladies, because this is his second time in the hot seat. He realizes that the ladies had a ladies' lounge today, and he's surprised that he has a date. So you know what this means, okay? So she let him know that the ladies.
This ain't your first time,
right? This ain't your first rodeo. She lets him know that the ladies feel that he's combative, rough, and revealed that Jeffri said about him hating the process because he's already chosen her, and that he's controlling.
Suan. I think nephew Tommy made it very, very clear, at least to the guys, the reason that they were in the church was so that you could confess. And anything that was said was not supposed to leave that room, especially not who said it. So just off that,
I'm sure she volunteered to go have the sit down with him so she could say that.
And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, aside from the pick me energy, that's what really pissed me off about Suan.
I think she said it also because she wanted to let him know that she knew, and she said, well, I thought we had a connection. I don't feel no type of way that she said it, because I think it's tied to her. It's not like she's going to reveal other people's business. She's tied into that triangle. So I don't feel no type of way that she said it, because she's like, okay, well then where do I stand? If you already chose her, why are we even trying to make a connection?
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like nephew Tommy probably should have called her out for that, but that's just me.
I feel like she was trying to get clarification. Now he says that he has not chosen Jeffri, but they've had a connection, and this is shocking to hear. He says this whole thing about being controlling, he saw the opportunity for this communication to come about, and believes that some people are just used to a certain approach by men, and he doesn't give that. Okay. But all in all, apparently the ladies still feel that he is ready to love. Now, Marcia explains.
He's saving this man who don't even want to be there.
Because they want to get rid of Fabrice.
Well, yeah,
Now, Marcia explains to Fabrice that not all the women are always ready to talk about sex, and really he's coming off boastful about it. And basically, the ladies came to this decision that these are some red flags and some big red flags, and he's not ready to love, and he really don't seem to give a damn. He about to take his ass back to France and go on and be with the women that like to talk about it and give it up and what have you. Where his children is more open. He's so stupid.
Well, thank you guys for
Yes,
tuning in
you.
to another review of Ready to Love. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And y'all, please make sure that you're following us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, IG, so you can catch up with us, see what we're doing, and catch all of our reviews. And yeah, we'll catch you later next week for another episode of Ready to Love. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.